Health is the state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not just the absence of disease and infirmity. Community is defined as a sociological group in a large place sharing one environment. It therefore includes individual and family. Community health is defined art and science of maintaining, protecting, and improving the health of all the members of the community through organized and sustained community efforts. Environmental health comprises those aspects of human health that are determined by physical, chemical, and other physiological factors. Primary Health Center. The program promoted community health through the partnership of community, barangay, government, and non-government organizations. So these are some of the primary healthcare programs in community. Nature and health effects of environmental issues.
There are plenty environmental problems contributed majorly by human beings to the world today. In this video, we take a look at top 15 major current environmental problems facing the world today. 1. Pollution. Industry and motor vehicle exhaust are the number one pollutants of air. Heavy metals, nitrates and plastic are toxins responsible for pollution. While water pollution is caused by oil spill, acid rain and urban runoff, air pollution is caused by various gases and toxins released by industries and factories and combustion of fossil fuels. 2. Global warming. Climate changes like global warming is the result of human practices like emission of greenhouse gases. Global warming leads to rising temperatures of the oceans and the Earth's surface causing melting of polar ice caps. Rise in sea levels and also in natural patterns of precipitation such as flash floods, excessive snow or desertification. 3. Overpopulation. The population of the planet is reaching unsustainable levels as it faces shortage of resources like water, fuel and food. Population explosion is straining the already scarce resources. Intensive agriculture practice to produce food for the large population damages the environment through use of chemical fertilizer, pesticides and insecticides. 4. Natural resource depletion. Natural resource depletion is another crucial current environmental problems. Fossil fuel consumption results in emission of greenhouse gases, which is responsible for global warming and climate change. Globally, people are taking efforts to shift to renewable sources of energy like solar, wind, biogas and geothermal energy. 5. Waste disposal. The overconsumption of resources and creation of plastics are creating a global crisis of waste disposal. Developed countries are notorious for producing an excessive amount of waste or garbage and dumping their waste in the oceans and, less developed countries. Nuclear waste disposal has tremendous health hazards associated with it. Plastic, fast food, packaging and cheap electronic wastes threaten the well-being of humans. 6. Climate change. Climate change is yet another environmental problem that has surfaced in last couple of decades. It occurs due to rise in global warming which occurs due to increase in temperature of atmosphere by burning of fossil fuels and release of harmful gases by industries. Climate change has various harmful effects but not limited to melting of polar ice, change in seasons, occurrence of new diseases, frequent occurrence of floods and change in overall weather scenario. 7. Loss of biodiversity. Human activity is leading to the extinction of species and habitats and in loss of biodiversity. Ecosystems, which took millions of years to perfect, are in danger when any species population is decimating. Balance of natural processes like pollination is crucial to the survival of the ecosystem, and human activity threatens the same. 8. Deforestation. Our forests are natural sinks of carbon dioxide and produce fresh oxygen, as well as helps in regulating temperature and rainfall. At present, forests cover 30% of the land, but every year tree cover is lost, amounting to the country of Panama due to growing population demand for more food, shelter and cloth. Deforestation simply means clearing of green cover and make that land available for residential, industrial or commercial purpose. 9. Ocean acidification. It is a direct impact of excessive production of CO2. 25% of CO2 produced by humans. The ocean acidity has increased by the last 250 years, but by 2100, it may shoot up by 150%. The main impact is on shellfish and plankton in the same way as human osteoporosis. 10. Ozone layer depletion. Depletion of the crucial ozone layer of the atmosphere is attributed to pollution caused by chlorine and bromide found in chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs. Once these toxic gases reach the upper atmosphere, they cause a hole in the ozone layer, the biggest of which is above the Antarctic. Ozone layer is valuable because it prevents harmful UV radiation from reaching the Earth. This is one of the most important current environmental problem. 11. Acid rain. Acid rain occurs due to the presence of certain pollutants in the atmosphere. Acid rain can be caused due to combustion of fossil fuels or erupting volcanoes or rotting vegetation, which release sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides into the atmosphere. Acid rain is a known environmental problem that can have serious effect on human health, wildlife and aquatic species. 12. Water pollution. Clean drinking water is becoming a rare commodity. Water is becoming an economic and political issue as the human population fights for this resource. One of the options suggested is using the process of desalination. 13. Urban sprawl. Urban sprawl refers to migration of population from high-density urban areas to low-density rural areas, which results in spreading of city over more and more rural land. Urban sprawl results in land degradation, increased traffic, environmental issues and health issues. The ever-growing demand of land displaces natural environment consisting of flora and fauna instead of being replaced. 14. Public health issues. The current environmental problems pose a lot of risk to health of humans and animals. Dirty water is the biggest health risk of the world and poses threat to the quality of life and public health. Pollutants cause respiratory disease like asthma and cardiac vascular problems. 15. Genetic engineering. Genetic modification of food results in increased toxins and diseases as genes from an allergic plant can transfer to target plant. Genetically modified crops can cause serious environmental problems as an engineered gene may prove toxic to wildlife.
Wherever you live, your health is impacted by the environment. Around the world, more than 50 million people die every year from disease, and nearly 1/4 of those deaths are directly caused by environmental factors. Can you imagine? That's 1,400 deaths every hour of every day from an unhealthy environment. The hardest hit are those in low and middle income countries, especially in Africa, Southeast Asia and the Western Pacific, and the young and old are most severely affected. More than half the world live in urban areas and can face heavy traffic, air pollution, poor housing and limited access to clean water and sanitation. Many work in the informal sector under dangerous, dirty and demeaning conditions. We all face the impact of chemicals and poisons, radiation and poor farming practices. And climate change means a very uncertain future. So now we are at a crossroads. Things can continue getting worse, or we can work together to improve our world. Simple measures can be taken immediately to protect our health and the environment. We can reduce our consumption and clean our air by using sustainable fuels and walking or cycling more. We can safely store toxic substances in our homes and workplaces. We can protect our water resources by disposing of waste appropriately and introduce clean energy technologies. We can bring multiple government sectors together to ensure all policies actively support health. Let us all work together to improve our health and well-being.